Hello friends, this is the revision of all the topics which we have covered earlier under basic thermodynamics. But before proceeding further, I would like to introduce myself. Myself Harshit Agarwal, mechanical engineer, graduated from NIT Nagpur in 2008. I have cleared Indian Engineering Services exam. I have got the offer letter from most of the Maharatna and Navratna companies. I have cleared GATE exam. Regarding course fee, there is no course fee as such, but you can always contribute whatever you feel like. You can also follow me on the specified link. But before proceeding for this lesson, I would say that you must follow all the previous 5 lessons so that you can answer these questions comfortably. Right. So here is the question 1 for all of you. Which one of the following is the extensive property of thermodynamic system? You have to say which one of the following is a extensive property. As I have already explained you the intensive and extensive property and the criteria for defining those property. So as you can see, the options are A, volume, pressure, temperature, density. Pressure and temperature is an intensive property as we have discussed this earlier, and density is equal to mass upon volume. And as you remember, we have mentioned that the ratio of two extensive property is always an intensive property. So density is an extensive property, mass is extensive property, volume is extensive property. So density is an intensive property. So here the answer is option A. Volume is the extensive property, rest all are the intensive properties. Second question. A closed system is one in which there is no energy transfer or mass transfer across the boundary. There is no mass transfer but energy transfer exists. There is no energy transfer but mass transfer. Option D. Both energy and mass transfer takes place across the boundary, but mass transfer is controlled by the walls. So the answer is there is no mass transfer but energy transfer exists. Answer is option B. Right, as I have already explained you, in open system there is energy transfer as well as mass transfer. In isolated system there is no energy transfer and no mass transfer, but in closed system there is no mass transfer but energy transfer exists. Question number 3. Change in property in thermodynamic cycle is. I have told you what is the change in property in thermodynamic cycle. The change in property in thermodynamic cycle is not positive, not negative. It is 0. Final value minus initial value. Final value minus initial value, and both these values are same. So the change in property in thermodynamic cycle is 0. Fourth question. The boundary of a system is. Do you know the answer? The boundary of a system is fixed as well as movable both. We have discussed this earlier. The boundary of a system, you can't say that it is always fixed. You can't even say that it is always movable. The boundary of a system can be fixed and can be movable. If you can remember, we have discussed the piston cylinder arrangement problem, right? So you must follow the previous 5 lessons so that you can answer these questions very comfortably. So the answer to this question is option C. Question number 5. Match the list. Right, you have to say volume, density, pressure, work. These are list 1. A is volume, B is density, C is pressure, D is work. And in list 2, first is path function, second is intensive property, third is extensive property, fourth is point function. Right, so here you just see option A, volume is, you know that volume is an extensive property, right, and it is a property, is a point function, right, but none of the other thing is an extensive property. So you can match volume with extensive property. So A is with 3. So the option is either A, either B. Density, B is intensive property, you know that, so you have marked B is 2. Pressure C. Pressure is a point function. Also pressure is intensive property. You can say that pressure is intensive property, but pressure is intensive property, C is with 2, but none of the options have having C with 2. So we can write that pressure is a point function. As I have already told you, properties are point function, they are not path function, and they are exact differential. So pressure is point function, C is 4, and work is path function. We will see that how work and heat transfer are path function. So our answer to this question is option A. So these are the answer. First is extensive property, volume. Second is B, no mass transfer, only energy transfer. Answer to third is C, 0. Answer to fourth is can be fixed and movable. And answer to fifth is A. These are the some sample question which you will find in engineering services and GATE examination. These are simple question, basic questions. In next level, we will move on to some difficult problems on these concepts. We will move on to some more concepts of thermodynamics. We will do some difficult numericals. We will solve the previous year papers for both GATE as well as engineering services, so that you will feel comfortable enough to attempt these questions and you can pass through the examination. Thanks a lot from my side. This is Harshit Agarwal.